Right now, while you're watching this video, thousands of hair follicles on your scalp are making a critical decision to grow or to give up forever. And here's what most women over 60 don't realize. The type of hair loss US doctors watch most closely doesn't happen overnight. It starts with something as innocent as skipping the wrong fruit at breakfast. I'm not talking about genetics or expensive treatments. I'm talking about 5 specific fruits that medical research from American universities has linked directly to hair thickness and follicle strength. The last one on this list, number one, is something FDA approved studies have shown to reverse the very process that's thinning your hair right now. But if you click away before we get there, you'll miss the most important discovery. So stay with me and please hit that like button and drop your age in the comments below so we can build a community of women taking control of their hair health together. Before we dive into these 5 remarkable fruits, I need you to understand something that most women your age have never been told by their doctors. Your hair isn't just falling out because of age, it's starving. Every single strand growing from your scalp needs specific nutrients to anchor itself firmly in place. And when those nutrients disappear from your daily diet, your follicles quite literally let go. The good news, the solution isn't locked inside a prescription bottle. It's sitting in your grocery store's produce section. And by the time we reach fruit number one, you're going to understand exactly why US doctors frequently recommend these foods to their patients struggling with hair loss. Now, let's start with number 5, and I promise you, each fruit we discuss is going to be more powerful than the last. Number 5 is the guava. You might walk right past this fruit without giving it a second thought, but medical research conducted at universities in the United States has revealed something fascinating about this tropical fruit and your hair. Guava contains more vitamin C than almost any other fruit you can buy at your local supermarket. And here's why that matters for your thinning hair. Vitamin C is essential for producing collagen, which is the protein that surrounds and protects each hair shaft. Without enough collagen, your hair becomes brittle, breaks easily, and eventually the follicle itself weakens. Think of collagen as the scaffolding that holds your hair in place. When that scaffolding crumbles, your hair has nothing to grip onto. Us doctors often explain to their older patients that as we age, our bodies produce less collagen naturally, which is why women over 60 notice their hair becoming thinner and more fragile. But guava steps in to support this process. One medium guava gives you nearly 4 times the vitamin C you need in a single day. And unlike synthetic vitamins that your body might not absorb properly, the vitamin C in guava comes packaged with other natural compounds that help your body actually use it effectively. You can eat guava fresh, slice it into your morning yogurt, or even blend it into a smoothie. The key is consistency. Eating guava 2 to 3 times a week gives your body a steady supply of the vitamin C it needs to keep producing collagen for your hair follicles. But here's something you need to know before we move on. While guava is powerful, there's another fruit that US doctors consider even more critical for stopping hair loss, especially the kind often seen in American women dealing with hormonal changes. And that brings us to number 4. Number 4 is papaya. And this fruit does something quite different from guava, something that targets a problem most women your age don't even realize they have. Papaya contains an enzyme called papain, and this enzyme has been studied in medical research across American universities for its ability to reduce inflammation in the body. Now, you might be wondering what inflammation has to do with your hair. Let me explain it in the simplest way possible. When your body experiences chronic inflammation, which can come from stress, poor diet, or just the natural aging process, that inflammation affects every part of you, including your scalp. Your hair follicles sit in an environment that needs to be calm and nourished to produce healthy hair. When inflammation creeps in, it disrupts the follicle's ability to function properly, and over time, those follicles simply stop producing hair altogether. This is the type of hair loss US doctors pay close attention to because it's progressive and often misunderstood. Many women think their hair is thinning because of genetics alone, but inflammation plays a massive role that's rarely discussed. Papaya works by calming that inflammation at the cellular level. The papain enzyme, along with vitamin A and other antioxidants in papaya, creates an environment where your follicles can breathe again. You can eat papaya fresh in the morning, add it to a fruit salad, or even use it in savory dishes. Some women like to eat half a papaya 3 times a week, which provides enough of these beneficial compounds to make a real difference. But there's something else papaya does that's particularly important for women over 60. It supports healthy digestion. And you might not immediately see the connection, but here it is. When your digestive system isn't working properly, your body can't absorb the nutrients from food efficiently. That means even if you're eating well, your hair follicles aren't getting what they need. Papaya gently supports your digestive process, ensuring that all the nutrients you consume actually reach the places they're needed most, including your scalp. Now, as powerful as papaya is, there's a fruit that medical research from U.S. institutions has linked even more directly to hair thickness and growth. And we're about to get to number three. Number three is the humble kiwi. And I know what you're thinking. How could something so small make such a big difference? But here's what FDA approved studies and research conducted in American universities have shown. Kiwi is absolutely packed with vitamin E, and vitamin E is one of the most important nutrients for maintaining blood circulation to your scalp. Your hair follicles need oxygen and nutrients delivered through your bloodstream to stay alive and productive. Without proper circulation, those follicles essentially suffocate. They can't produce strong, healthy hair, and eventually they shut down completely. This is something U.S. doctors often see in older women who might have circulation issues elsewhere in their bodies, cold hands and feet, for example, but don't realize the same circulation problems are affecting their scalps. Kiwi addresses this in a remarkable way. The vitamin E in kiwi helps protect your blood vessels and improves the flow of oxygen-rich blood throughout your body, including to those tiny capillaries feeding your hair follicles. One study conducted at a major American university found that people who supplemented with vitamin E for 8 months saw a significant increase in hair growth compared to those who didn't. And kiwi is one of the most efficient ways to get that vitamin E naturally. You can eat 2 kiwis a day, just slice them in half and scoop out the flesh with a spoon. Some women prefer to add them to their morning smoothies or chop them into oatmeal. The fuzzy skin is actually edible and contains even more nut rants. Though most people prefer to peel it, the important thing is regularity. Eating kiwi several times a week ensures that your body maintains adequate vitamin E levels to support strong circulation to your scalp. But kiwi does something else that often gets overlooked. It contains zinc, and zinc is crucial for hair tissue growth and repair. It also helps keep the oil glands around your follicles working properly. When those oil glands malfunction, your scalp becomes dry, your hair becomes brittle, and follicles can't function at their best. Kiwi provides just enough zinc to support these processes without going overboard, because too much zinc can actually cause problems. Nature packages it perfectly. Now, as incredible as kiwi is for your circulation and follicle health, there's a fruit that U.S. doctors frequently discuss with their patients, specifically for its ability to address one of the most common yet overlooked causes of hair loss in women over 60. And that's number two. Number two is the orange. And you might feel like you've heard enough about oranges and vitamin C already, but what makes oranges special has nothing to do with what made guava important. Yes, oranges contain vitamin C, but the real power of oranges for your hair lies in something called bioflavonoids. These are compounds that work alongside vitamin C to strengthen the tiny blood vessels in your scalp and improve the overall health of your hair follicles. Medical research conducted at American universities has shown that bioflavonoids have a unique ability to reduce oxidative stress in the body, and oxidative stress is one of the primary reasons hair follicles age prematurely. Think of oxidative stress like rust on metal. Over time, exposure to environmental factors, processed foods, stress, and just normal aging creates damage at the cellular level that causes your follicles to age faster than they should. U.S. doctors often explain to their patients that this type of cellular damage is often seen in American women who've experienced years of stress, sun exposure, and dietary habits that weren't ideal. But here's the beautiful thing, it's not permanent. Bioflavonoids and oranges act like a shield, protecting your follicles from further damage and giving them the chance to recover and strengthen. When you eat an orange, you're not just getting vitamin C, you're getting hesperidin, naringenin, and other bioflavonoids that research has linked directly to improve scalp health. One study from a U.S. medical institution found that people who regularly consumed citrus bioflavonoids had measurably healthier hair follicles and less thinning over time compared to those who didn't. The best way to get these benefits is to eat whole oranges rather than just drinking orange juice, because the white pith, that stringy part most people throw away, contains the highest concentration of bioflavonoids. Try to eat one orange a day, including some of that white pith, and you'll be giving your follicles powerful protection. But oranges do something else that's particularly important for women dealing with hormonal changes. The combination of vitamin C and bioflavonoids supports your adrenal glands, which produce hormones that affect everything from stress response to hair growth. When your adrenal glands are functioning well, your entire hormone system works more smoothly, and that includes the hormones that tell your hair follicles to keep growing. This is subtle but significant, and it's something U.S. doctors consider when working with older women experiencing unexplained hair loss. Now, everything we've covered so far has been building to this moment. Number one is the fruit that medical research from universities across the United States has linked most directly to reversing the specific type of follicle damage that causes permanent hair loss. This is the fruit FDA-approved studies have examined repeatedly, and it's the one U.S. doctors most frequently recommend to patients who are serious about stopping their hair loss and encouraging new growth. Number one is the strawberry. And before you think this is too simple or too good to be true, let me explain exactly what makes strawberries so uniquely powerful for your hair. Strawberries contain a compound called ellagic acid, and this compound has been the subject of extensive medical research in the US for its effects on hair follicles. Ellagic acid does something extraordinary. It protects your hair follicles from the hormone DHT. Now, DHT is a form of testosterone that exists in everyone's body, men and women alike. And as we age, the balance of hormones shifts in ways that cause DHT levels to affect our hair follicles more aggressively. And this is the type of hair loss U.S. doctors watch most closely because it's progressive. It's hormone related, and it often catches women by surprise in their 60s and 70s. DHT attaches to receptors in your hair follicles and literally shrinks them over time. The follicles get smaller and smaller until they can no longer produce hair at all. This process is called miniaturization, and it's responsible for the majority of permanent hair loss often seen in American women as they age. But here's the breakthrough. Ellagic acid in strawberries has been shown in research conducted at American medical institutions to block DHT from binding to those follicle receptors. Think of it like this. Your hair follicles have locks and DHT has keys. Once DHT unlocks those receptors, it begins the process of shrinking your follicles. Ellagic acid changes the lock so DHT's keys don't fit anymore. This doesn't happen overnight, and it's not a cure, but it's a supportive action that U.S. doctors often recommend because it addresses the root cause of hormone-related hair loss rather than just treating symptoms. A study conducted at a major U.S. university found that people who consumed foods rich in ellagic acid over a 6-month period showed measurably less hair follicle miniaturization compared to those who didn't. The participants weren't taking supplements or medications. They were simply eating strawberries and other allergic acid-rich foods regularly. The results were significant enough that the researchers recommended incorporating these fruits into daily diets as a preventive measure against progressive hair loss. But strawberries do even more than protect your follicles from DHT. They're rich in anthocyanins, which are powerful antioxidants that improve circulation and reduce inflammation simultaneously. Remember how we talked about inflammation with papaya and circulation with kiwi? Strawberries combine both benefits into one fruit. They create an environment where your follicles are protected from hormonal damage, nourished by improved blood flow, and calmed by reduced inflammation. It's a three-pronged approach that makes strawberries the single most important fruit for women over 60 dealing with thinning hair. The FDA has approved numerous studies on berries and their health effects. And while the FDA doesn't approve foods the way it approves medications, the research coming from FDA monitored studies consistently points to the benefits of compounds like ellagic acid for cellular health. U.S. doctors are paying attention to this research, and many are now asking their patients about their fruit intake, specifically whether they're eating berries regularly. The best way to incorporate strawberries into your daily routine is simple. Eat 1 cup of fresh strawberries every day or at minimum 4 to 5 tea times per week. You can eat them plain, add them to your breakfast cereal or oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or slice them over yogurt. Some women freeze strawberries and eat them as a cold snack. The key is consistency and quantity. 1 or 2 strawberries won't give you the levels of allergic acid needed to make a difference. You need that full cup to ensure you're getting enough of the active compounds to protect your follicles effectively. Here's something else important about strawberries that U.S. doctors often mention to their patients. Strawberries contain manganese, which is essential for the production of proline, and proline is an amino acid that's a building block of collagen. So strawberries aren't just protecting your follicles from DHT, they're also supporting the structural integrity of your hair by helping your body produce the collagen it needs to keep hair shafts strong and anchored. This dual action is why medical research keeps coming back to strawberries when studying natural approaches to hair health. Now, I want to be absolutely clear about something because it's important. These 5 fruits, guava, papaya, kiwi, orange, and strawberry, are not miracle cures. They won't regrow a full head of hair in 2 weeks or reverse decades of damage overnight. What they do is provide your body with the specific nutrients and compounds that medical research from American universities has shown to support hair follicle health, protect against the most common causes of age-related hair loss, and create an environment where your remaining follicles can function at their best. U.S. doctors recommend these fruits as part of a broader approach to hair health that includes proper nutrition, stress management, and overall wellness. Think of it this way: your hair follicles are like a garden. If the soil is depleted, if there's no water, if the environment is hostile, nothing will grow. No matter how good the seeds are, these 5 fruits replenish the soil, provide the water, and create a healthy environment. They give your follicles a fighting chance to produce the strongest, thickest hair they're still capable of producing. The women who see the most dramatic improvements are the ones who make these fruits a consistent part of their daily lives, not just for a week or a month, but for several months and beyond. FDA-approved research studies on nutrition and hair health consistently show that the benefits accumulate over time. The first month, you might notice your hair feels slightly stronger. By month 3, you might see less hair in your brush. By month 6, you and others might notice your hair looks fuller and healthier. This is the realistic timeline that U.S. doctors discuss with their patients, and it's important to have reasonable expectations. But here's what you need to understand about timing. The longer you wait to start supporting your hair follicles with proper nutrition, the more follicles you'll lose permanently. Once a follicle has completely shut down and the opening is closed over, no amount of nutrition will bring it back. That's why U.S. doctors emphasize starting these supportive actions now while you still have active follicles to protect and strengthen. Every week you delays another week, your follicles are struggling without the nutrients they need. So let me give you a simple action plan you can start today. Buy fresh strawberries, oranges, and kiwis on your next grocery trip. Look for guava and papaya. They might be in the tropical fruit section, or you might need to ask. Start your day with a fruit bowl containing at least 1 cup of strawberries, 1 orange or 2 kiwis, and a serving of either guava or papaya. If that feels like too much fruit at once, split it up. Eat strawberries in the morning and orange as a mid-morning snack, and kiwi or papaya in the afternoon. The goal is to get all 5 fruits into your weekly routine consistently. Some women find it helpful to make a simple smoothie that combines all 5 fruits. Blend 1 cup of strawberries, half a papaya, 2 kiwis, 1 orange with the peel removed, and a quarter of a guava with water or unsweetened almond milk. This gives you a concentrated dose of all the beneficial compounds we've discussed: the vitamin C, the ellagic acid, the bioflavonoids, the vitamin E, the pepine enzyme, all working together to support your hair follicles from the inside out. This is not about deprivation or complicated meal plans or expensive supplements. This is about adding 5 specific fruits to your daily routine, because medical research conducted at universities across the United States has shown that these fruits contain the exact compounds your aging hair follicles need to stay strong and productive. U.S. doctors often see remarkable improvements in their patients who commit to this type of targeted nutritional support, especially women over 60 who've been told their hair loss is just part of aging and there's nothing they can do about it. There is something you can do. You're doing it right now by learning this information. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and drop your age in the comments below. Tell me which of these 5 fruits you're excited to try first. Building this community of women who are taking control of their hair health is so important. And I want to hear from you. Are you 65 and struggling with thinning around your temples? Are you 70 and noticing your ponytail is half the thickness it used to be? Share your story in the comments, because someone else watching right now needs to hear that they're not alone in this. Remember, the type of hair loss that U.S. doctors watch most closely is the preventable kind, the kind that happens when your body simply isn't getting the nutrients it needs to keep your follicles functioning. And now you know exactly which 5 fruits provide those nutrients. Backed by medical research from American universities and recommended by physicians across the country. You have the knowledge. Now it's time to take action and give your hair follicles the support they've been desperately needing.